Initial NG. It is not optional. Yesterday I put this clip out on TikTok.
Ngang ngơ ngu ngang ngủ ngốc ngách, ngủ ngang nguyên ngày, ngà nghe ngay ngày dạ nghi ngao, ngu dại ngắc ngu lết, ngà pai, ngà bá pa, ngưng ngưng gạc ngà liat gác.
The thing that spurred me to put that out is that I was last week speaking to a guy and he'd been learning Thai for a long time, and his Thai was for all intents and purposes fluent, but he still could not articulate initial NG, which is a critical part of the Thai language. Now, that clip I put yesterday, if it looked familiar, that's because it wasn't new. Well, the clip I took yesterday was new, but this is a clip that I put out 13 years ago.
Ngạc ngerti, ngapain, ngo, ngot ngit, ngan, ngên, ngam, ngong, ngảo, ngõ, ngồi, ngào, ngàn, nguyễn.
Whoa. Well, I think it's time to do an update on that clip, and so that's what I'm going to be doing in this clip. Initial NG in Thai, ngo, ngo, Lao, Khmer even. Ngot means sweet, like in Thai, ngot ngam. So this ngot is a feature in Khmer. Vietnamese, Indonesian, especially when you're speaking colloquially Indonesian, the NG takes over everything. And of course, Malay and a whole bunch of other languages, especially Austronesian languages. So these are the languages that go all the way down into the Pacific Islands, near Australia, Fiji, Tonga. You get this initial NG as well as Cantonese. Now, Cantonese is an interesting case because if you go to Hong Kong, so the word for I, ngõ, traditionally has this initial NG, and you'll notice in IPA, NG is kind of like this N with a G attached. It looks like an elephant trunk. So what happens? Ngõ, in Cantonese, it drops o. So if you go to Hong Kong, you'll find that the initial NG is dropped. But if you're going into Guangzhou and other places in mainland China, it's still pronounced. So you still got to learn it for Cantonese, but it's in this shift where in some dialects it's dropped out. But in any case, you need to be able to pronounce initial NG correctly if you are going to be speaking any of these languages that I've just mentioned. So I want to actually make this clip short, sweet, and to the point, because whether you're doing it in Thai, Indonesian, it's going to be the same action. Yeah, maybe there are a few little different tweaks you do with what's going on at the same time as this NG, but it's all about taking control of your throat. So to start with, let's just have a look at the map of the human mouth, which is the Abugida alphabet that we have for Thai. We have for, click on here, Sanskrit. Now this is in my new tools that you can see up there in crackinglanguage.com. And I'll be building these out, but this is functioning to this point at the moment. So you can see the blue here, that's the back of the throat. So this is, we call this a varga or a wak in Thai, and this represents the back of the throat. So watch this. Ka, 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 nga. You can hear it all the way back here. So one thing to look out for these, have a look. This is the back of the throat, right? Now, this is what I hear a lot of foreigners doing, and it has to do with this second row here. Cha, 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 nya. Now, I know in standard time, this yo ying has lost its nya, but in most other languages, Khmer and many other Indic languages, this position here represents nya. It's like in Spanish, enya, the N with a little hat on top of it. And maybe this little dingly bit underneath the character can remind you of that nya. So what I see a lot of foreigners doing is this nya. Maybe it's easier to pronounce for English speakers. It's kind of like a normal N but flattened out, and your tongue just mashes across the roof of your mouth. So nya. So maybe that's more natural for English speakers and many European language speakers. But this one here, what happens? I hear a lot of Western speakers say nya, nya. What happens is the tongue, it goes like, you can say sing. So your tongue's in the right position for NG, sing. But then what happens is as the mouth opens up and tries to pronounce the next bit, the tongue rolls to the top of the mouth, and rather than just dropping down at the throat as nga, nga, the tongue rolls out. and it goes nya. So if somebody was saying tam ngan means work, they would say tam nyan, and the tongue just rolls to the front. And so what we're going to do today are some exercises that are going to let you take control of your tongue, because it's all about controlling it and being able to make sure that your tongue is isolating just that position and then being able to drop it down rather than rolling it out. This is the key issue I see with Western learners of Thai, Indonesian, and Vietnamese. And again, the beautiful thing about the Thai language and any language that has its writing system based on the Indic Abugida is that you look at the letter and you know from the position in the alphabet where in the mouth that it's produced. Actually, for anybody who has a copy of Cracking Thai Fundamentals, if you don't, click in the link below. If you have ordered it from Thailand, you actually have the chart there and it's perforated so you can tear it out. This one here has all the different scripts of Southeast Asia and some Indic scripts. And this one here is the Thai one, but you can pull that out and really map your mouth to the letters. These work as perforated pull-out sheets in this one, but that's the one ordered from Thailand. If you're outside of Thailand, you have to get it from Amazon. I might sound like a broken record in all of my clips regarding the Indic map of the mouth and map it to the, but it's just so useful, and it's integral to everything. Your tones, your correct pronunciation, your vowels, everything is based around this map of the mouth. Okay, so in my first clip 13 years ago, I used the word sing as an example. Let's change it up. Let's change the vowel. So let's say bang. Just bang in English. So say it with me. Bang, bang. Let it ring out. Bang. I'm sure most English speakers, at least, have the innate ability to be able to hold that NG out at the end of a word. So let's do it. Bang. Now, even as I'm talking, keep that at the end of bang going. I want you to start to be conscious of the muscles that are at play and where exactly the tongue is. Bang. You'll notice that your tongue, bang, is pulled right back in your throat, and it's like this big lump of meat, and it's just sitting there in the back of the throat. Bang. Now, what we're going to do is this. Bang. Bang, bang. Now, I'm sure you can see my tongue in there in my mouth. You don't see my tongue going like this. Bang. It's not moving forward, right? Because a lot of people are tempted. Maybe it's the subconscious visualization of an N where you want to say, it's not an N. Your tongue's locked up in the back of your throat. Bang, bang. And your tongue just drops down at the back. Now say this. Bang, 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 bang. If you can do that double ng, you're almost there. It's really important also to change the vowels, and this is where I see a lot of people mess it up as well. If you're doing a back vowel, for example, bang, that's okay because the vowel and the tongue are kind of in the same place. But when you get to say e, and you have to do an initial NG before it, what happens is they go and it's wrong. So if you were doing it's all about isolating the tongue and isolating the vowel and have them happening concurrently. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's say bang, bang. Do it slowly. Bang, bang. Now let's drop the B. Ang, 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 ang. Now, what I'd like you to do is the A, we're going to keep it there, except we're going to make the space of the open A become very short and go straight into the NG. So it's going to be like this. It's like you can feel the throat clicking just for the beginning of this down here. It jumps to the throat. Now, what we're going to be doing for this final point is just basically dropping that first initial from the voice and just keeping it in the throat. So watch this. Turns into and you can see my tongue's there in my mouth. It's not rolling out, it's not doing anything. It's just like a lump of meat dropping. And then you can go through your different vowels. How are you going? So let me just recap that. So you're going from banga, banganga, anganga, nganga, nganga, to you can finally just say nga. Nga, by the way, in Thai, ngo means sesame. Maybe you can record and upload one of these and let me know how you've gone. Speaking about recording, you might know from many of the clips that I've done in the past, I do vocal analyses. So I'll listen to you speak in Thai or whatever language it is, and I'll sit and I will basically give you a prescription on maybe what needs to be tweaked in your mouth and what you're doing to be able to shift your accent and shift your fluency, especially in Thai. Now, I used to do this with militaries from different Western governments, and they would come and I would help them lose their phalangness, for lack of a better word. This is a really, really valuable exercise. I did it with Paddy a few years ago, and Paddy was a champion to let me do that, and that clip subsequently has helped a lot of people. And so if there is anybody out there that would like to have one of these done here on YouTube and help other people, if you're learning Thai, let me know. I'll tell you how to get your clip to me. And I want to start doing a series of these here. If you do want to get one of these done personally, I get it. Not everybody wants it having plastered over the internet in a public clip. Just come in here to J Academy and you can click on there, and it will have the instructions of how to go through, and you just need to put like a 60-90 second clip together of you speaking, just you introducing yourself. And if ngongu is an issue for you, well then say stuff where I can hear what's going on there. The usual thing is if you hit a point where you feel you have to drop into English or whatever your mother tongue is, that's okay, you drop, because that's all part of setting this baseline and seeing where we need to go. And if you can also do another clip of you speaking with somebody who is a native speaker of the language, it's also about the dynamics of how you react within the language. And these are super, super valuable. I've done these with so many people. I've put them out there, even did with the Bangkok podcast guys, Ed, Greg. And so if you haven't seen those, go and look at the Bangkok podcast. But if you want one of these done, go click in here and I can do it. But I want to do some public ones to help the community. So if you're up to having your specimen put out there, let me know. I'll tell you how to send it through. And I want to start doing a really cool series on where we look at different people, because I notice different countries have different issues, but they seem common to each country, learning, say, Thai or Indonesian or Vietnamese. So we can go through these together and really help everybody raise this level of how we're pronouncing Thai and other languages from around this region. So finally, let's do each one of those ones I did in a clip separately, and you can use this as an exercise. Let's do the Vietnamese first. You ready? Nga ngu ngơ nghe ngủ ngốc nghếch ngủ nghe nguyên ngày. How is that? My Vietnamese isn't great. In the South, you tend to get NGs more at the end as well. So let's look at the Thai. Nga nghe ngay ngày, ya nghi ngao, ngu dài ngắp ngu lek. Then finally Indonesian. Ngapain, ngapapa, ngeng ga ngeliat nga. If you want a breakdown of what all of those mean, I think we need to do another clip. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to click subscribe and the bell. Like, leave a comment down below. Send me your voice specimen if you want to be part of these series. Let me know in the comments below. I'm Stuart J. Raj, and I'll see you on the other side.